Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. Summer vacation continues for you, but not for us. The Club World Cup, the Gold Cup, they're kicking off this week. We've got 4 games in the Club World Cup that we will talk about. We've also got some futures. Nick is sweating out the Stanley Cup finals down there in sunny Florida. His Panthers heading into game 4 tonight. A lot of things on the line. He'll be on the ice tonight. I don't know where on the ice he'll be, but you'll be in the barn. You're going to be in the barn. Are you excited? What's the vibes? How excited are you for these tournaments? A lot to throw at you right now.
Always excited. Now cautiously optimistic about the Panthers. Got a future at +1,000. So that's in okay shape. Panthers just set the record for a highest crowd noise at a hockey game ever last
That's
game.
exciting.
So very, very rough day for the Florida has no fans crowd, specifically anybody from Canada. So hard times for you guys, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to make some money. We're here to make sense of the Club World Cup and the Gold Cup. I'm torn between what everybody's saying and trying to like actually being very excited about it. These are premier teams that brought their entire rosters here in the US. There's a chance for you guys to go see your favorite team potentially. Definitely a chance to watch it. Most importantly, a chance to bet on it. So, I don't know. Let's just be excited about it. Their legs may fall off, that's fine.
I'll tell you what. Any one of these teams, these European teams that is playing in this tournament, will be fading all August and September, and I'm pumped about getting great numbers against some of these teams. We're gonna start with futures real quick. We'll do I got 2 futures for the Club World Cup, and I have one for the Gold Cup. Let's stick with one of the hottest players in the world on one of the hottest teams in the world. Ousmane Dembele, Golden Boot at 13 to 1 plus 1,300. I have PSG winning this whole thing, and I think he's going to continue this form. He had a really strong second half of the season. Erling Haaland, I'm pretty sure, is the favorite. He's coming off an injury. Yeah, he made Italy look like idiots, but that's not hard to do right now. And frankly, I'm concerned about the balance of this Manchester City team. They just brought in 3 new players. They'll all contribute, but I think teams are going to take this tournament very seriously based on the money that's available, both to the players and to the teams. And PSG to me is the best team in the world right now. I think they go on to win the tournament. I'm not going to place that, but I think Dembele gets to the final, and I think he'll score the most goals at 13 to 1.
I dig it. That's a good number.
It's a great number.
Yeah.
I also don't mind Atletico Madrid to win the tournament at 15 to 1.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think my thing with Atleti is the steam ran out in La Liga, but at the same time they kind of stopped having to try in La Liga a while ago, and like at some point could have said, "Boys, let's let's take the foot off the gas and lock in for the next one."
Okay, I could see it. I mean, I think at 14 to 1, 15 to 1, I'd probably be more interested in Inter Milan, only because they have a coach, new coach, chip on his shoulder, players who are definitely going to have a chip on their shoulder. Winning a Club World Cup doesn't make up for the absolute fucking disaster that was the last 2 months of the year, but I don't know. I see that a little bit more likely. I think if I'm going to take a really big long shot, Borussia Dortmund at +2,500 looks kind of juicy to me, where they're a team that potentially could do something, has a pretty good roster, likely will take this seriously, could use the money. I mean, I think that's why I like Inter over Atleti also. Money is a premium in some of these other leagues. But you could talk me into PSG or Man City or even Bayern Munich at all at like +600. I mean, like you said, if everybody comes out and takes it seriously, I kind of dig those teams. If you're into Dortmund to make the final, they're also +1,200. I think that's cool. And to make a semifinal +500, that's where I'm actually placing my money. I like Dortmund to make the semis at +500.
Stefano Fusaro, friend of the show, who's come on before, also big Panthers fan, um,
Good guy.
told me he put a missile on Dortmund to get to the quarterfinals at +125.
There you go.
So, yeah, a lot of friends of the pod or contributors to the pod on Dortmund in this one. Let's jump over to the Gold Cup. I want to brace you guys really quick. Yes, I'm wearing like a U.S. 1994. It's a 1994 World Cup shirt. It's not a U.S. men's national team World Cup shirt. Um, if you're betting on the U.S. to win this tournament, they may win this tournament, but you're a sucker because I think there's a better chance that they don't, and the price that you're getting for the U.S. is bad. In my opinion, the final is probably going to be Canada Mexico. I don't know how things are, if it can't even play out that way. I haven't played the Gold Cup bracket game because, frankly, it's the Gold Cup. In my opinion, it's going to be tough to bet on this tournament until we get to the knockout stages because you just have some really good teams in terms of CONCACAF that are like, mid-tier teams internationally, and then you have like a lot of teams that are going to get steamrolled in this tournament or should get steamrolled. In my opinion, the team to bet on to win this tournament is Canada at plus 550. I know we like our futures closer to 6-1, but I will take Canada at plus 550. In my opinion, you have one of the best players in CONCACAF in Jonathan David up top. He still doesn't have a team signed up for next year. Obviously, a chance to impress. I don't think we have ever been alive to see Canada win the Gold Cup, personally. You want to talk about golden generations that are delivering? The Canadians have it right now. There's more young players that are breaking through every year on European teams. They're going to be without Alphonso Davies because he's playing in the Club World Cup for Bayern. That's obviously a big miss for them, but I still think they have one of the best managers in CONCACAF. They have a good roster, and I think they have the ability to beat Mexico on their day. Obviously, the Mexican fans are going to travel well where with
Yeah. Where's the
whatever
final?
Mexico. I don't know. I
No.
honestly don't know.
I mean, let's
Um,
assume it's somewhere where there'll be more Mexican fans than Canadian fans,
I don't.
if that's a scenario.
I don't think it matters where it is. I just assume there will be more
No.
Mexican fans than Canadian fans. But this is a big opportunity for the Canadians at 5.5 to 1. I'll take that all day. Nick, I know you don't have futures available in front of you, but if there's something you want me to look up, I'm happy
Yeah,
to.
so apologies to anybody. If you're listening in the state of Florida, you will absolutely empathize with me and feel my pain, but there's almost no markets available for this tournament at the current moment. Maybe that'll change in a couple days. Meanwhile, Club World Cup has literally everything. So it just shows you the difference in money behind these two tournaments. One that would like stick out to me as two okay, above average teams that could potentially make a little noise that I expect to be in the second round that could get to a knockout. Um, Costa Rica, I think you told me they were 20 to 1 plus
Yeah, to win
2000.
the tournament. Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, maybe could you place that and double up, triple up if they get into the next round potentially? And maybe Jamaica, but Jamaica is another team that like has a couple good players and never seems to figure it out over the course of a tournament. And I think they were what 14 or 15 to 1. So maybe that's where I'd be interested. Outside of Canada, there's really no other money to be made in this tournament.
Jamaica is
What I
even money to win their group, but they are in that group with Panama, Guadeloupe, and Guatemala. So you're better off just betting on them to beat Panama in
right,
like head to head at that
right.
price.
And what I
Um,
would say too, you mentioned even some of the prices on these games, right? Any game involving the US or Mexico or Canada, your best bet's going to be like a both teams to score. If you think the other team, the opponent in any of these first couple matches can score on the favorite, that's how you're going to make a lot of money. Like the US, I know their first game is plus 150 both teams to score.
yeah, they're
Well, they
playing.
just gave up what, 6 goals in two matchups. So
Yeah,
defense ain't exactly all that tight. Just my 2 cents on it.
it is Trinidad, and it's not exactly a Trinidad that has that striker from Stoke that was on their national team for eight
For
thousand
93 years. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it is what it is. All right, let's jump to games on grass this weekend. Al Ali will kick off the tournament taking on Inter Miami. Lionel Messi played on Tuesday night in a great game that I watched in Spanish as I cashed a both teams to score ticket in Colombia, Argentina. He did feature for the Argentinians. They did take him off early because obviously he has this super important game, the most important game in Inter Miami's history. I love goals in this game. Over 2.5 goals at minus 132 was hitting five straight for Miami, hitting four of the last five for Al Ali. If you want to take the over three, it's at plus 120. That's also hitting four of the last five for Miami, three of the last five for Al Ali. And if you're not worried about that push, over 3.5 at plus 185, four of the last five for Miami, and three of the last five for Al Ali. I think there's going to be goals. Inter Miami are old and fraudulent, and Al Ali is a very good team. They have earned their ability to be in this tournament. I would say that Inter Miami has not. And look, I'm not picking on Messi, but um, maybe not the best idea to just bring all of your old friends to Miami. Maybe you should have just grabbed some like 19-year-old that can't get out of the Barcelona academy to Miami. That's what I would have done. I would have brought the young kids so that I didn't have to run much. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, they're starting to bring some, but they all just happen to be from Argentina and not from Europe. Um, hey, my big gripe, and I went on a mini rant the other day on Twitter. Hercules Gomez was the one who actually started the whole thread and was like, FIFA's having a really hard time selling. They're offering like buy one, get four free tickets to this matchup, which is at Hard Rock Stadium. Well, yeah, maybe don't put Inter Miami in Miami for the Club World Cup. They play there 20 times a year already. Anybody that wants to see them can go see them pretty easily. Maybe put Messi and his friends in other locations throughout the country where people who don't get the chance to see him will be able to go see him. Also, maybe put them against teams that people care about because I don't think anybody cares about Ahli or even knows where they play. Anyway, mini rant over. Minus 130, over 2.5 goals. Placed this last week. 100%. There's goals in this game.
Yeah, I didn't tack on both teams to score because frankly, it only moved it up to minus 105, and at that point, I'd rather just play more goals in the game than be worried about. Because like, here's the thing, I could see Miami winning 3-0. I could see them giving up 3 goals and getting
Yes.
spanked. So it's like both teams to score there is not a given, but it's the premier game Saturday night. It's going to kick off the tournament. Jumping to Sunday, really fun slate for Sunday. And we're just going to be betting on games on Saturday and Sunday this week, and then check the social channels. We'll have some videos and whatever out for you guys over the next few days. PSG Atletico Madrid is a heavy hitter off the rip. I'm pretty excited about this. PSG's coming in at minus 120 money line, which I don't mind. I think it's better. There's a better chance that this is a little bit of a draw and these two teams kind of sniffing each other out and not losing. Over 2.75 goals is minus 120, hitting 3 of the last 5 for Atleti, 3 of the last 5 for PSG, pushed in 2 of those. And then do we run it back with Hakimi? 2 shots at minus 115, hitting 9 of his last 11, and a shot on target at plus 120, hitting 7 of his last 11. I expect him to start, but if he doesn't, um, then we're screwed. But I don't know. I would lean PSG here, but I think we'll get 3 goals personally.
Yeah, listen, this is the ultimate. We don't know what's going to happen with lineups tournament, right? So proceed with caution. Anything we say, obviously, make sure these guys are starting. Wait for lineups if you can. But I like PSG over 1.5 team total here, minus 130. I just, don't have to really sweat out the result if you think they get 2 goals. If you think they're going to win, they probably need to anyway. And the form that they've been in, there's no reason to believe that if they start a halfway decent lineup that they can't put 2 goals past Atleti. So minus 130, I'll take it.
Definitely. All right, we go to Palmeiras taking on Porto. You're gonna notice a trend here. I'm playing goals. I'm betting on
Hey,
goals.
same.
Over 2.5 goals is plus 120. It's hitting 6 of the last 8 for Porto. It's and 3 of the last 4 for Palmeiras. I was doing a lot of FB ref and FOTMob on Palmeiras. They do have one of the most exciting young players in the world right now in Estevao, who's a winger that's going to be joining Chelsea, I think, after this tournament. Who's could be the next Vinicius or it could be nothing because he's going to Chelsea. But I I this Porto team is good, but not great. And I would bet on Palmeiras if in this game personally, but I like goals here.
Yeah, plus 175 if you're into it. It's a really good money line number. But I'm over 2.5 plus 120. Same bet.
Yeah. All right. Botafogo taking on Seattle. Seattle kind of in some trouble. Lost the last couple games. They're fighting with MLS right now. You know what? And credit to them for that. They wore out t-shirts in their walkout a couple weeks ago or last week that said like a Club World cash grab or something like that because the MLS Players Union, if by the grace of God some team wins this tournament, I don't think those players are getting like the appropriate amount of monetary compensation for winning the tournament. So like credit to them for fighting the MLS or the MLS Players Union for fighting with ownership. That being said, Seattle's kind of banged up, has lost the last couple games. Botafogo's a good Brazilian team. Money line minus 125. I like their team total over 1.5 at plus 100. They've done that 8 of their 17 times this season, and Seattle has given that. I mean, they've only given up 7 of 18, but I think Botafogo wins and scores twice.
Yeah, just to touch on your point, I mean, Seattle has played a lot of games, probably more games than any domestic team since the start of March or whatever. So they were in the CONCACAF Champions League, obviously in the MLS. They're in this tournament. They'll be playing in the Leagues Cup next month. So a lot going on for Seattle. Ton of games. Over 2.5 goals, plus 110. I just like there's no way this isn't a 2-1 game, 3-0 game, one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of it already. I will say, and I'm springing this on you very much last minute. I totally should have told you. We are officially, as of yesterday, 1 year away from the World Cup. I have three teams that have fun prices for the World Cup. Don't put it in a World Cup future right now, but three teams that I'm looking at. And you can tell me I'm crazy. I'll start. We'll go longest shot to shortest shot. Netherlands at plus 2,000. I think they're a striker away. They have all the pieces. Am I saying this as a Liverpool fan and half the players play for Liverpool?
Glad you
Yes.
said it.
Yes. But
Virgil will be what, 40?
I think he'll be 33.
Is that it?
30, yeah, 33 or
Oh,
34.
good for
He's
him.
not that old. He's
Good for him.
he's he's been around. Hey, let's do an age check on Virgil van Dijk. He is he's 30. He's going to turn 34 this July. So next July he'll be 35. He'll turn 35 during the
Oh,
tournament.
so I was right.
You were half right.
Okay.
Um uh Netherlands at plus 2,000. Again, they don't have an elite striker, but I think they have everything else. Um Portugal at 12 to 1. It kind of comes down to how you're going to handle Ronaldo. I think I'm big on the Neves and Vitinha midfield personally. Nuno Mendes, best left back in the world. You still have Ruben Diaz, who's a good center back. You have a good keeper in Costa. You have a ton of other forward options. It just comes down to, is Cristiano going to buy in like he did in the Nations League versus and like get back and defend, or is he going to make this about himself? But at 12 to 1, I don't mind that. And shockingly, not the favorite. Argentina at 8 to 1 right now.
Okay.
They've won
I,
three straight tournaments. They have a ton of young players breaking through right now. Yes, obviously Messi's, going to be this is going to be the last ride in this World Cup. But you can't act like they don't have other pieces. Like you've got Julian Alvarez, you've got Lautaro Martinez. Nico Paz just had a really good year and will be around on that team next year. Um, McAllister and Enzo Fernandez are still going to be there to anchor that midfield. Um, they need another defender besides Otamendi. And that's definitely an issue. But like, there's this Mastanuoto who's leaving River for Real Madrid is going to be a young, exciting prospect. Like, there's a couple questions, but at 8 to 1, I mean, it's probably just going to be Spain. But at 8 to 1, I don't mind Argentina.
yeah, listen, I could buy two out of those three teams. Netherlands, I mean, I get it. Listen, they're in like the fucking quarterfinals of every tournament, right? Lately. So I could get on board with the logic. I hate Memphis. I like Memphis could get thrown off a bridge. I saw people this week on Twitter comparing him to Robin Van Persie. I want to strangle somebody. Like that's
No.
insane thinking. So I just don't like the Netherlands, but I mean, I could see where you're at. The other two I could buy in. Portugal is they're the most complete they've ever been, right? So if they could figure out goals on a consistent basis, they have a chance. And Argentina at 8 to 1. Argentina just shows up for tournaments. Like their team unity is like no other team on the planet over the last probably 5 to 10 years. So they are greater than the sum of their parts when they come together for a tournament. 8 to 1's a pretty good number. If any of those get better, you have to place any of them. So
Yeah.
I'm totally with you there. But now, until somebody tells me otherwise, Spain will always be the team to beat.
Spain and France, the favorites at plus 550.
France, no, not so
No.
much. Frauds.
We've said this on this podcast. Spain has, or France has probably the best roster player for player, but has no, they've no cohesion and no chemistry. The Spanish have the best chemistry and also a very comparable roster. But yeah, fun times ahead. Busy summer. Make sure you're following us for more picks and bets and props and futures and whatever. At Nick Dianni, at Andrew Passaro, at the Plus Money Pod. We'll see you guys next week for more bets.